team. I think we have a good group of guys that do care, and I think they have for the most part every year we've been here. These guys want to do well. They want to win games. They want to do it for themselves, for their family, for our fans, for the school. I mean, they take a lot of pride in it. They put a lot of work in it. It's a full-time job for the most part. But every week's a battle, and you've got to just do things right, and you've got to compete. You've got to execute. But there are a lot of guys leading. We have really no friction in the team at all right now. These guys understand, what it's going to take to win. They understand that it's a one-game season every week. They understand that you got to give everything you got each and every week, and you hope to win when it's all said and done when you look up at the score. But whether you do or don't, you got to move on the next week and do the same thing. And if there's any wavering in that, you're going to struggle. And if you lose confidence when you're losing, you're going to struggle. And if you start to think you're better than you are when you're winning, you're going to struggle. So all those things come into play. And our guys, we talk about it, we communicate it, and it's just about approaching each week with great effort and intensity, trying to improve and get better, and then trying to cut it loose on Saturdays.
Yeah, there are different ways to lead. Some guys are very verbal. Some guys do it by their actions. How do you help bring that out in the players and understand that not everybody's going to lead the same way?
We want all of our guys to display their personality. And yes, sometimes you want to train them that, you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You got to lead, especially if you're one of our better players, a little bit with being vocal. Doesn't mean you don't want to lead by example. We have a lot of guys that do a good job of that, but occasionally the team needs to hear certain guys speak and say what they feel and think, and, bring that energy and intensity and passion and fire to the football field and practice, because that's what it takes to win. I mean, there's a lot of great players across the country, so leaders have to step up and be more vocal, and we have, a handful that know when to do that, and sometimes know when to just keep their mouth quiet and go to work. But, a lot of our better players have been really, really good leaders for us.
On a completely different topic, the women's volleyball team during their match on Saturday actually had to leave the gym because a fire alarm went off in the middle of the first set. I wondered if in your time in high school and college and pro football, whether a sprinkler system went on or something happened that wasn't weather related, perhaps in the middle of a game that caused the game to be not canceled, but at least delayed.
You know what? I'm not really for sure. There might have been something where lights, happened to go out. I've seen that before. I can't remember if I've been a part of that game. I was involved with the preseason game. I can't remember which NFL team I was on, but I think it was at the old Astrodome where we went there and the field was unplayable. So
yeah,
we didn't play the game. So there's a lot of things that can come up that make it interesting. I don't know, were they delayed quite a bit, or did they get?
No, actually, and it turned out apparently the fire alarm fell off the wall.
Oh, okay.
The fire department went in and they realized that I guess it hadn't been adhered to the wall very well. So that's a good news thing.
Well, maybe Coach Shondell needed an extra timeout. And
he did talk about the fact that when he was playing at Ball State, that actually happened at Ohio State in a match that the Buckeyes were losing. And when they came back in, they wound up winning. So sometimes you can use that strategically. Notre Dame Stadium was a lot different than the last time we were there. And I know you said you hadn't coached before. We were talking before. I thought, a big crowd, 74,000 plus. But it wasn't the loudest crowd we've ever heard at a football game either.
You're correct. It was a packed house. There was quite a bit of green in there, but there was some black and gold. And every seat was taken for as much as I could see. But you're correct. I mean, we were able to use a verbal cadence throughout most of the game, which normally some places we played gets much louder. And when we got towards the end zone a couple times, we had to go to a nonverbal cadence because it got a little bit louder. But, yes, in general, we played at louder stadiums.
Hello to Swamico, Wisconsin. I hope I got that right this week for Ira. When we come back on the Jeff Brown Show, we're going to hear from Mitchell Finneran. It is the Jeff Brown Show presented by the Rorman Automotive Group from Learfield.
Bobcat is opened a new dealership near you, offering the latest compact equipment to help you do more. Bobcat of Indy North, an authorized Bobcat dealership, is now open at 4489 South Indianapolis Road. Stop in and check out the newest solutions in excavators, compact track loaders, skid steer loaders, attachments, and more from the most reliable equipment brand. Or call us at 317-769-4946 or online at bobcatofindy.com for details on how we can help you accomplish more with Bobcat equipment.
135 years, First Farmers Bank and Trust has been helping local businesses thrive by providing the capital you need for success. That's why we're here to listen and figure out the creative solutions that allow your business to tackle today's challenges head on. We're committed to providing the flexibility and the peace of mind that comes from working with a bank you can trust. Visit us at ffbt.com to learn more or stop by a branch today. First Farmers Bank and Trust, Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
It's a new season. Get ready for more men's and women's college sports excellence. Trophies will be awarded in June to schools who take the top spot in the 2021-22 Learfield Directors Cup. The premier award recognizes one winning institution in all competitive divisions. Follow your favorite team's progress as seasonal standings are announced at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at directorscup.org. The crowning achievement in college athletics.
At the Honda Summer Sales Event, one summer adventure leads to another. Start with a great offer on a new Honda and be on your way to remote beach weekends, deep forest discoveries, and sunsets next to a campfire that you built yourself. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR on the 2021 Honda CR-V, Ridgeline, or the all-new 2022 Civic.
It's the Honda Summer Sales Event at your Central Indiana Honda dealers or Central Indy.
Exclude Civic Type R. See dealer for financing details.
At Unity Healthcare, we have a team of over 100 independent providers working alongside you to support you with all of your medical needs. Our independence not only allows us to make the best decisions for you locally, but also ensures more money stays in your pocket while still combining the experience, dedicated medical care, latest technologies, and wide range of medical services you need. At Unity Healthcare, we're here to help you live your best life every day. Unity Healthcare, healthier together.
Your car may never be worth more than it is right now. If you have 5 minutes, I can prove it to you. I'm Trey Rohrman. Visit Rohrman.com. Click Start Here, enter your license plate number, answer a few short questions, and in a few minutes, we'll give you a fair, guaranteed cash offer to buy your car. Rohrman is your vehicle buying center at your home or at one of our convenient dealerships. Let Rohrman buy your car today. Visit Rohrman.com.
It's time for the Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler-made. Let's look at a couple of NFL players. Rondale Moore, big game on Sunday against Minnesota. 7 catches, 114 yards, and his first of what we know are going to be many professional touchdowns. Anthony Brown for the Cowboys had 5 tackles and a pass broken up in the win over the Chargers. Major League Baseball, a couple of guys. Kevin Plawecki is catching for the Boston Red Sox, hitting .280 with a couple of home runs and 14 RBIs. Boston trying to fight for one of those wild card spots in the American League. Nick Whitgren is a relief pitcher with the Cleveland Indians. Nick has pitched in 55 games this year and has 58 strikeouts in 57 innings pitched. Joined by Mitchell Finneran. Mitchell is a kicker from Fort Valley, Georgia, comes to us from Samford University. We were just talking during the break. Now, today's a little bit rainy, not a perfect day to kick. It looks like Saturday will be. The worst weather conditions you've kicked in before, either in high school or in college?
I'd probably say we played at VMI when I was at Sanford, which is pretty far north. There we played in it was probably 25 to 30 degree weather, pretty cold, raining, a lot of wind. So that's probably the worst conditions I've played in yet.
They did break it to you that it could snow here by the end of the season, right? You are aware of that?
Sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you're not taken off guard by that. Well, let's talk about your season so far, because it's been spectacular. You haven't missed a kick yet. You've been rock solid. Why Purdue? You had a chance. You were playing at Samford. I had an outstanding career there, first team all-conference. Why a bigger jump?
So coming out of high school, I got recruited, but not real heavily. I had a chance to go play at Stanford and went there, graduated in 3 years, got my degree, and, I wanted to play on a bigger level, Power 5 preferably, and, just coming here with there's rich football tradition, the fans are great, and just being able to play on a higher level was really what motivated me and just made me make that decision. So.
Were you a self-taught kicker? I mean, how did you learn all the techniques that you needed?
No, sir. I started with my coach, Mike Hollis. He played for the Jaguars for 8 seasons, and he's out of Jacksonville, Florida. So I started training with him when I was a freshman in high school. So he's really what taught me. He taught me everything that I know to now, and he just kind of mentored me and guided me through it, everything. So
you got your undergraduate degree. You were already working on your master's degree here, correct?
yes, sir.
In technology, leadership, and innovation.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. So give me, how many years of eligibility now do you have left? And is this the last one, or can you play next year?
I have 2 years.
Okay.
So with the COVID year, I've got another year. So.
Okay. And you're planning on using it at
Yes,
this
sir.
point? Oh, that's good to know.
Yes, sir.
Talk about walking into Notre Dame Stadium. You had to, I'm sure, watch a few games of the Fighting Irish growing up. Were there any more butterflies than usual, or was it just another game?
For me, it was a cool experience. My freshman year, we played at Florida State. I think it was like their second game of the season. So there was like 75,000 at that game. So it was definitely a lot different than that game, just because Notre Dame has a lot of tradition. But going into it, I just tried to treat it like any other game. You know, kicking the same field, the same yard line. So just trying to not psych myself out, but I treat it like every other game. So
I'm glad you mentioned the same field, because Purdue is probably one of the few schools in Division I football left that plays on natural turf rather than the synthetic stuff. The difference in kicking, what adjustments do you have to make on each?
So it just depends. Our field here is pretty good. They keep it up really well, so we don't really have, there's not like a whole lot of divots or anything on it. So I'll just say really the only thing you have to worry about is like if it rains, it can get kind of slick. Turf can too, but the field can give a little bit more. So other than that, I feel like kicking on turf and grass, it's not much different. So
it seems like you have a good rapport and good trust with your battery mates, Nick Zecchino snapping, Jack Albers holding. You guys seem like you play like you've been playing together for years.
Yes, sir. They do a great job. Albers does a great job. He takes his job very serious, so that helps us a lot. And Zecchino, he snaps it back there fast and accurate, so that makes my job a whole lot easier. And without them, I couldn't do what I do. So,
all right, it's the night before the game, Mitchell, and you're laying in bed, and your last thoughts. Are you thinking about that game-winning field goal that's going through the uprights with no time left, or how do you visualize having success in a situation like that?
I kind of just think about my routine and just my technique, and try to trust that. You don't really want to get outside of your head. You just want to kind of keep it simple and just go through the routine, go through the motion, and just visualize, the ball going through the uprights and what you're going to do when you run out there and, try to execute to the best of your ability. So,
well, keep the positive visualization. Make sure you have a winter coat ready to go, and you keep it going the rest of the season. Congratulations on a great start so far.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we'll be talking with Kieran Douglas. It's the Jeff Brown Show, presented by the Roman Automotive Group. Back after this from Learfield.
At Unity Healthcare, we have a team of over 100 independent providers working alongside you to support you with all of your medical needs. Our independence not only allows us to make the best decisions for you locally, but also ensures more money stays in your pocket while still combining the experience, dedicated medical care, latest technologies, and wide range of medical services you need. At Unity Healthcare, we're here to help you live your best life every day. Unity Healthcare, healthier together.
I don't want to brag, but it's our name. The Bob Roman Auto Group has been proudly serving Boilermaker Nation and beyond since 1963.
When it comes to automobiles, there's only one, Bob Roman.
I'm Trey Rorman. My grandfather started with a single-use car lot on the Sagamore Parkway. His attention to customer service is the driving force that has made the Bob Roman Auto Group the Midwest's #1 volume, family-owned automotive group. Visit us today, 24/7 at Rorman.com.
At the Honda Summer Sales Event, one summer adventure leads to another. Start with a new Honda and be on your way to desert treks, lakeside getaways, mountain paths so remote you need an actual map. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR on the 2021 Honda Accord and 0% APR on the 2021 HRV or Pilot.
It's the Honda Summer Sales Event at your Central Indiana Honda dealers or centralindianahondadealers.com.
See dealer for financing details.
Attention fans, do you want a chance to win an amazing trip to see the Boilermakers take on the UNC Tar Heels in Connecticut on November 20th? Winner gets plane tickets, hotel accommodations, and loads up on some Purdue swag. All you have to do is register at PurdueFlyAway.com for a chance to win this amazing opportunity, provided by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
Welcome back to the Jeff Brown Show. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Ross-Ade Stadium. Boilermakers and Fighting Illini on Saturday at 3:30. We'll have the pregame show starting at 2:30. Joined by a guy now that got his start at Purdue on special teams and has worked his way into the starting lineup at middle linebacker, fifth-year senior Kieran Douglas from Pickerington, Ohio. Actually, I should say graduate student because you've already earned your Purdue degree, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Political science, right?
Yes.
Why? Political science, what led you to that direction?
I mean, in high school, I was interested in politics, and I always wanted to know what's going on in the world and things like that. And, I still might want to be, I always thought I wanted to be a politician. So, that might be a route that I still want to go down.
You don't see a lot of people early on in their lives that seem to want to do that. So, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your path here because you grew up, you were from Pickerington, Ohio, right? Which is, for people who don't know, where is Pickerington?
It's right outside of Columbus.
Okay. So you grew up in Buckeye Country.
Correct.
You went to West Point.
Yes.
And you were there for a year. And then decided to leave. Talk me through the process first of going there and then deciding that maybe you wanted to go somewhere else instead.
Yeah, so it was my first FBS offer coming out of high school, and I had actually not even played linebacker in high school yet. I was actually a defensive lineman. I was a 3 technique my junior year, and then before I had even played linebacker, I got offered by Army, and I committed before I had even played linebacker. So I committed like in the summer before my senior year. Then I played my senior year, went next summer. I went to the basic training and all that, played the season, and then come around the next year, I just started to think about whether that was the path that was right for me and what I really wanted to do. And, I decided at that point it would be best for me to transfer.
So why Purdue? What was it about the Boilermakers that drew you here?
Well, I actually I knew one of the coaches here already. I had actually talked to him when he was at Ohio State. He was Coach Aaron Hodges, and he had recruited me when he was at Ohio State out of high school. He came here, so I already knew him, so that was a good connection I already had. And then, of course, I already knew Purdue was a great school, and I wanted to play in the Big Ten. I wanted to play on the highest level possible, and it's also not that far away from my home. So I was really excited to come back to the Midwest and play in the Big Ten.
You started, as I mentioned, you've played a lot of special teams here, but now you've worked your way into the lineup. What was it that you really had to work on the most to get to that spot where you're now a starter at middle linebacker?
I mean, I had a lot of stuff to work on. I've grown a lot as a player throughout the years, definitely. And, it was just everything. I mean, anything, the knowledge of the game. When I first got to West Point as a freshman, I didn't know anything. I literally did not know anything. And I had to just learn the game. I had to learn the coverages. I had to learn what a run fit was, and that aspect of my game definitely was one of the things I'm really proud of, because I feel like I have a good knowledge of the game now, especially compared to where I was to begin with. Then physically, I just obviously had to get stronger. I had to get bigger. I wasn't that big to begin with. I was probably, coming out of West Point, I was probably like around 210. Now I'm closer to 240. So that's one of the things I had to work on, getting quicker, faster, and just continuing to be physical.
You've gone through transitions going from West Point to here. You've also gone through transitions here in the coaching staff. Talk about the new staff and what they've brought to your team.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I think we're really happy with where we are as a defense and where, we have the potential to be. And I think Coach Lambert and all the other defensive coaches have done a great job, continue to do a great job with us. And I really like the defensive scheme we have going on. And I think we're really playing fast and we're playing physical, and that's a really good thing.
Karen, congratulations on the season so far. Senator Douglas has a little bit of a ring to it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just in case.
I like
it has a good ring. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to have the head coach back with us. It's the Jeff Brom Show presented by the Rorman Automotive Group from Learfield.
At Unity Healthcare, we have a team of over 100 independent providers working alongside you to support you with all of your medical needs. Our independence not only allows us to make the best decisions for you locally, but also ensures more money stays in your pocket while still combining the experience, dedicated medical care, latest technologies, and wide range of medical services you need. At Unity Healthcare, we're here to help you live your best life every day. Unity Healthcare, healthier together.
Gemco Constructors, headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana, is a mechanical, electrical, plumbing, service, and design-build commercial contractor. Gemco provides comprehensive design and build solutions for its customers locally and throughout the United States. Whether a large new construction project or a small tenant finish, Gemco approaches each job with the same sense of dedication and quality. Gemco Constructors, building your vision, concept to creation.
Bobcat is opened a new dealership near you, offering the latest compact equipment to help you do more. Bobcat of Indy North, an authorized Bobcat dealership, is now open at 4489 South Indianapolis Road. Stop in and check out the newest solutions in excavators, compact track loaders, skid steer loaders, attachments, and more from the most reliable equipment brand. Or call us at 317-769-4946 or online at bobcatofindy.com for details on how we can help you accomplish more with Bobcat equipment.
It's a new season. Get ready for more men's and women's college sports excellence. Trophies will be awarded in June to schools who take the top spot in the 2021-22 Learfield Directors Cup. The premier award recognizes one winning institution in all competitive divisions. Follow your favorite team's progress as seasonal standings are announced at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at directorscup.org. The crowning achievement in college athletics.
The Rorman Automotive Group is supporting your Boilermakers as the presenting sponsor of the Jeff Brom Show and proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rorman Automotive Group, boiler up and hammer down. Homecoming is next week against Minnesota. This week, you've got the 20-year anniversary of the Rose Bowl team coming back. A lot of those fellas, I think we're supposed to have Drew Brees, Matt Light, and several others. Always great to have them back, and hopefully that'll give the place a little bit more energy on Saturday.
I would think so. There's a lot of great history there, and tremendous players, and even better people that are, great examples of what this university is all about. So we'll be happy to see them all.
Somebody asked about your thoughts on the punting game, and I know that your thoughts on the punting game after the game on Saturday were not real positive. So we're on Wednesday now. Are they more positive?
Well, here's what we got in our punting situation. Jack Ansel came in. He's technically a true freshman, but he's 23 years old. He's from Australia. What we see in practice is what we have not seen in the game. Like in practice, he can really punt the football. And actually, he's pretty consistent at punting the football. And he punts it high and long. And great thing about him, too, is he cares. He works hard. When he mishits it, he's upset. It bothers him. So those are great traits. Unfortunately, it hasn't carried over to the game. So, I sat down with him as well as our special teams coach, and just trying to kind of mentally get on the same page and say, hey, how do you like to kick it? I mean, I want you to go out there and relax and kick it. So, are we telling you something that's causing you not to do that? And we tried to hammer out some things to simplify it for him and just go out there and catch it, kick it as far as you can. That's all we're asking. And I know you can't hit every one of them perfect, but in practice, you hit quite a few of them pretty daggone good, and it just hasn't carried over. So he's just got to continue to work through it. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened the way he wanted, but that's part of football. That's part of life. I do think that he's had a great week of practice Sunday, Tuesday, and today. He's just got to carry it over the game.
Ironically, the guy on the other sideline on Saturday who's also from Australia and might just be the best punter in the country. Blake Hayes is a real weapon for the Illini team.
Well, I think quite a few Australian punters are in the Big Ten, and I think all do a really good job. They just have a way of catching it, kicking it very naturally. They can get height on it. They can get distance, and obviously he's performed at a high level.
Brett Bielema taking over the Illini this year as a first-year head coach there. Had great success at Wisconsin, so at Arkansas. Trying to turn them around. What stamp have you seen? What's different about this Illinois team maybe as opposed to the past couple?
I do think it's a well-coached football team. Coach Brett has come in there and really jacked up the intensity, and you can see it on the field. You know, they had a big win the first week against Nebraska. They shut them down. They shut the quarterback down. They're playing aggressive on defense. Offensively, they like to run the ball and control that and take their shots. You know, their quarterback got injured for a couple games. It hurt him a little bit. You know, they came back last week against Maryland and was up 17-10 with about 4 minutes left in the game and just let it slip away at the end. But they had dominated Maryland, who was 2-0 at the time. They had kind of went in the game and did a whole different plan on defense, and it worked. So, you know, we've got to prepare for a lot on defense. They can do a lot of different things. I'm not sure what they're going to come in doing. We have an idea. So they do a really good job there. And on offense, I think they've done a good job. They're very consistent. They've been in every game. So we'll have our hands full. We've got to execute play well.
You know, defensively, the guy that really stands out, at least statistically, is their middle linebacker, Jake Hansen, who seems like he's been there forever. He's one of the nation's leaders in forced fumbles, and he's a guy that always seems to be around the football.
Well, he is, and he has been there forever. He's played a lot of football, and he does make plays. He runs around. He's fast. He's physical. He's not afraid to hit and tackle. He gets the ball out. You see him show up on a lot of plays, so he's somebody we've got to be able to block. We've got to know where he's at. And, if he's making a lot of plays, we might have him scoring a lot of points.
All right, we'll have the final segment of the Jeff Brom Show presented by the Rorman Automotive Group after this from Learfield.
For 135 years, First Farmers Bank and Trust has been helping local businesses thrive by providing the capital you need for success. That's why we're here to listen and figure out the creative solutions that allow your business to tackle today's challenges head on. We're committed to providing the flexibility and the peace of mind that comes from working with a bank you can trust. Visit us at ffbt.com to learn more or stop by a branch today. First Farmers Bank and Trust, equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Attention fans, do you want a chance to win an amazing trip to see the Boilermakers take on the UNC Tar Heels in Connecticut on November 20th? Winner gets plane tickets, hotel accommodations, and loads up on some Purdue swag. All you have to do is register at PurdueFlyAway.com for a chance to win this amazing opportunity, provided by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics.
I don't want to brag, but it's our name. The Bob Rorman Auto Group has been proudly serving Boilermaker Nation and beyond since 1963.
When it comes to automobiles, there's only one, Bob Rorman.
I'm Trey Rorman. My grandfather started with a single-use car lot on the Sagamore Parkway. His attention to customer service is the driving force that has made the Bob Rorman Auto Group the Midwest's #1 volume, family-owned automotive group. Visit us today, 24/7 at Rorman.com. I don't want to brag, but it's our name. The Bob Rorman Auto Group has been proudly serving Boilermaker Nation and beyond since 1963.
When it comes to automobiles, there's only one, Bob Rorman.
I'm Trey Rorman. My grandfather started with a single-use car lot on the Sagamore Parkway. His attention to customer service is the driving force that has made the Bob Rorman Auto Group the Midwest's #1 volume, family-owned automotive group. Visit us today, 24/7 at Rorman.com.
Boilermakers and Illini on Saturday. It's a trophy game. It's also a Big Ten West game, which is always important, Jeff. Every game that you play, you only play 12 of them in the regular season, so everyone's important. But when you play those games in your division, they become two-game swings, whether you win or lose, so they're big.
You're correct, and you know, it starts this Saturday. It's an important game, just like everyone, and we've got to be ready to go. There's a lot of things that we've worked on this week to improve. We hope it carries over to the game. You know, we've got to be firing on all cylinders on offense, defense, special teams. We've got to figure out a way to pull out a victory, and I do like the way our guys are working, and I think we've recognized some of the mistakes we made, all of us, including myself, like I said, and we've got to just get back to work and put it all in during the week. And, you know, at the same time, Saturday, we've got to go out and cut it loose, but execute as well. There were times this past week where the execution wasn't what it needed to be, and we can do some things better.
Had a question here on Facebook whether Jack Plummer will start again. You made that pretty clear after the game. He is the starting quarterback, but you're also not going to hesitate if he's struggling or if you feel like you need a spark to bring Aiden O'Connell or even Austin Burton in the game.
If you look at ever since we got here, we've used multiple quarterbacks. The first 2 years, we were able to go to bowl games. We had both quarterbacks playing. They both were valuable. They both provided different elements. We've got a quarterback room now where we feel like we've got some capable players that can help us at any point. And the competition was close. It was close not just between two guys. It was close between more guys. And obviously two guys that played for us. So, Jack has done some really good things. He cares. He's a good leader. He wants to win. He's taking care of the football. You know what? Are there some times where he's got to hang in that pocket and deliver the ball and not get out of there so fast? And are there some times when we're trying to throw up the field, we've got to make the play, and he's got to look down the barrel, make the throw? Sure, there is. But that's common with a lot of quarterbacks. So we're working hard on this week to make sure he's working to improve that so we can take more vertical shots and throw up the field more. Aiden has played a lot of football, so no, we're not going to be hesitate to put him in. He can move the team. He's won games. Is he as mobile as Jack? No, but he can throw the football. He can be accurate. So I think all of our guys know that we're up front, we're honest. It's about winning. Every position there should be competition. Every position, multiple guys should be able to play, especially if you have those guys on your team. So we're going to do right by all of them. And at some point in time during this year, we may have to use more than two quarterbacks. So the more you have ready, the better chance you have to win. And those guys I mentioned have played a lot of football for us.
Illinois has more super seniors, that's fifth and sixth year seniors, than any Division I football team. You don't have a lot of them, but one of the guys that you do have, I thought, really played well for you Saturday, and that was Jackson Anthrop. You were trying to make a comeback, and particularly when David had to leave the game. Jackson Anthrop made a lot of big plays for you Saturday.
Well, he did a really good job. Notre Dame, played for the pass. They buzzed underneath our outside receivers quite a bit to try to take away those throws, and they did. And it caused us to, work over the middle of the field a little bit more, which means you got to be precise with your throws. You got to be accurate. You got to be on time. And that's where Jackson came into play. He works in the middle of the field. We were able to hit him quite a bit. And I'm sure that's going to be a recipe that other teams use. So all of our receivers have to be ready to go every week. It could be a different defense, different game plan, and we have to adjust along the way and utilize the whole field.
He does a great job, too, it appears, when he gets the ball, getting immediately north and south, planting that foot and knowing where the first down markers are. And that's, again, mark of experience.
Yes, he is. And, he does special teams. He gives us everything he's got. He cares. His family is a big part of Purdue. And he came through this past week. So we're going to need him continue to do that. And he does do the small things very well.
All right, we need to buck a little bit of a trend now Saturday in this trophy game. The Boilermakers are hosting Illinois, but the road team has won 8 of the last 9 games in this series. Let's make sure that we make it 8 out of 10 on this Saturday against the Illini.
You are correct. We need to make sure of that.
All right, Jeff, good luck, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Again, the tickets are available. It's supposed to be a great day on Saturday. Temperature will be in the low to mid 70s. Very little chance of rain in the afternoon, so we hope that the Boilermaker fans will get out and support this team for the next 2 weeks. You've got Illinois coming up this week and then Minnesota next week before heading into the bye. I want to thank our engineer tonight, Wes Scott, and our producer, Ray Klappmeyer. Again, the Boilermakers and the Fighting Illini will kick it off at 3:30 at Ross-Ade Stadium on Saturday. Our pregame coverage starts at 2:30. You can catch Pete Quinn, Kelly Kitchell, and me on Facebook Live on the Purdue Athletics site starting at 2 o'clock. So we'll get you ready for kickoff and give you all the things that you need to know to get ready for the game. We'll have Jeff Brown again with us next week here at Wolfie's starting at 6:05 and throughout the football season. So we thank you for tuning in tonight. You've been listening to Boilermaker Football from Learfield.
Here it comes, and Indiana got to him. Indiana football is back. Grab. Hoosiers are threatening at the 3-yard line.
Catch the action at Memorial Stadium as head coach Tom Allen leads the Hoosiers in a battle against this year's homecoming opponent, the Michigan State Spartans, on October 16th. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Support the Hoosiers in 2021. Go IU.
He's down to the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown! How about that?
Wednesday afternoon, showers in the evening, then clearing overnight. Low 46, winds north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. This weather forecast has been brought to you by MPP of Campbellsburg.
Join us for season 49 of Coach's Corner here on WSLM Radio. First started in 1972. We are proud to continue Coach's Corner on WSLM for our listeners to get to know the coaches, players, and staff of each local school and get the X's and O's each from Eastern, Salem, and West Washington. We have Luke Dean, Blair Thompson, and Jeremy Lowry with us tonight. You'll be hearing from Nate Pierce, one of the new voices of the Salem Lions boys varsity football. He'll be joining you live from Salem McDonald's and talking with our coaches for each Wednesday's program. Tune in for a front row seat to high school sports on WSLM 97.9 FM at WSLM 1220 AM. Along with live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Also, catch the Jeff Brom Show at 6:05 and stay with us for the Tom Allen Show at 8 p.m.
Hello, and welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is the 49th season of Coach's Corner, and I'm your host, Nate Pierce. I got a special guest host in the building tonight, Chris Hunt from the Mid-Southern Conference Youth League program. He's going to sit in with us tonight.
Hey.
We are going to hear from Coach Blair Thompson here in just a few minutes. Want to make sure everybody tunes in. You can live stream us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And we're live right now on WSLM 97.9 and WSLM 1220 AM. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with Coach Blair Thompson.
Are you shopping for a new home or looking to refinance at today's interest rates? FirstHarrisonMortgage.com should be the next stop in your rate shopping. It might just be your last. First Harrison Mortgage offers aggressive rates for first-time home buyers, as well as VA, FHA, USDA, and conventional mortgages. You can even get pre-qualified now to know how much home you can afford. Visit FirstHarrisonMortgage.com today. Equal housing lender.
I'm New Store Manager Shelby Lehman, and I'm excited to see you at our store in Salem. The big one is back. The Shakaroni Pizza is back at Papa John's for a limited time. This extra-large pizza with big, foldable slices is packed with extra cheese and extra pepperoni, and it's just $13. Plus, for each Shakaroni sold until October 21st, Papa John's will donate $1 to the Papa John's Foundation, benefiting local and national charities. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Coach Blair Thompson. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Nate. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm packing for a trip that we're taking this weekend, so I've been busy as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But other than that, we're doing all right. So what a game down there at Clarksville. You know, we kind of expected something, but you know that was a pretty good showing down there. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, and like I said it after the game, you know, we didn't have what we wanted to have against Brownstown, you know, but we got a whole week of practice under our belt again, and really got our feet back under us from being off for 2 weeks, and had a really, really nice evening on offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you know, you start to feel bad for those guys down there because they get poached in so many ways from other schools that you know, their program just, you know, it's anemic as can be down there. But you know, you've got that Lamar kid that, man, I heard that he's been scouted by Cincinnati, and he's going to go some places. And he was the kid that we really had to focus on, and we did a real good job of shutting him down.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because you know they have athletes down there. They just have a hard time putting it together, and I look for them to really rebuild that program. Obviously, that program is one of the most storied programs in the Mid-Southern Conference. You go back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Right. Now, to my understanding, they're an independent now, right?
Yeah, they're going to go independent, so allows them. You know, we only have one game that on our schedule that we can schedule anybody else other than the conference opponents. And now that they're an independent team, they can go play schools that are their size or smaller, and kind of get try to get some wins under the belt, and hopefully get rebuild their program. Their athletic director told me that ideally that they'd like to be going back with the conference once they get things rolling again. And, you know, it's just like you said, it's hard because the areas have grown all around them, and Clarksville's kind of like landlocked. But they definitely have athletes down there, and like you said, we did a really nice job. I know Lamar Kid got loose once on us, but we did a nice job of corralling him. And every time he touches the ball, you got to hold your breath. You don't know.
Right, you never know when he's going to rip for an 80-yard run.
Right, exactly, for sure.
I noticed that you guys were wearing purple armbands, or some of you were down there, and that was in support of one of their teachers down in Clarksville with pancreatic cancer. Is that right?
Yeah, I was my first year teaching. I taught at Clarksville, and I didn't coach down there, but I taught. And this guy, Dan Boykin, was a friend of mine down there, and he was their physical education teacher, and he was heavily involved in the football programs and the announcing all their games. And he found out a couple weeks ago, I guess, that he's battling with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and they've been doing a purple for Mr. B down there at their school, and we thought it would be great to join in on that and show our support as well.
Yeah, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about because Pamela Campbell had made some mention of how much Salem. She's from Scottsburg, and she made mention of how much Salem, what kind of sportsmanship we have over here. You had made a post about their player that had the back injury this weekend. And, that's one thing that here at Salem, I feel like we really carry ourselves well as far as sportsmanship. We had a couple of wrestlers that won the IHSAA sportsmanship award for wrestling with special needs kids and things like that. And taking that extra, care to make sure that they felt, like they were involved and that they were just as much as a part of the team as anybody else. And so, for you to make that post about the boy that was hurt in Scottsburg, which I've heard that he's going to be okay. He's just got to wear a back brace. I think he fractured 2 of his vertebrae, from what I understand. But just showing that sportsmanship, she really shows where Salem's heart and head is at.
Yeah, and we've had an outpouring support. Obviously, with Mr. Acton being sick and Adam being sick, and anytime there's a back injury or a neck injury, Nate, in the game of football, it's something that we all have to come together with because injuries unfortunately are part of this game, and we want to continue to play this game that we love. We want kids to continue to play this game we love, and we want to make sure that we all come together when something like this happens. It's very similar to when a race car driver has an accident. You see the racing community really come together to support, and we all love this game of football, and we just wanted to reach out and let them know that we were there for them. And I know we sent out a certificate, a gift certificate to his mom. So maybe try to lessen the load a little bit as far as food and things go for her and her family down there. And while she was at Norton's Children's, and
right, man, that's really awesome.
We don't do it. We don't get it to get noticed. We do it because we feel like much is given, much is expected, and
right.
We just want the kids to know that teaching empathy, man, is something that is kind of lost in this world right now. We want to make sure that we can figure out that.
Right, and that's the big thing is it's not, we're not trying to make ourselves look good by doing the things that we do over here. It's more of, a mutual respect. We would appreciate, the same thing coming to us if something happened over here. And like you said, with all the support and outpouring for Coach Humphrey and even Shane a couple years ago, whenever he had his injury, people were really, supportive of that. So it's all about, we may be rivals, but we're all in the same sport. So we're, and we're all doing the same thing. So trying to keep everybody healthy and take care of everybody, is the name of the game. And that shows a lot of class on all sides.
Yeah, football's a violent game, Nate, and, injuries are something we do. We work really hard in our sport to prevent, I feel our sport is as safe as it ever has been, with the helmet shots or you've done, all of our games this year, you don't see any of those. Very rare do you see those anymore. Kids are really learning how to take the head out of the game or out of the hit, excuse me. And we have our helmets are way better than they were when I wore them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember my coach telling me to earhole a kid, several times. So it's completely different these days.
I'm pretty sure my helmet was made out of leather.
Your helmet? You had a helmet?
I had a helmet.
I didn't know they made Sasquatch things.
It took 2 cows.
So we got our home opener this weekend against Corden. How do you think that's going to play out?
Corden's been kind of really devastated with injuries lately, and they lost their quarterback, who I thought was probably the best player in the conference last year. He's tremendous, and he had an ACL injury playing AAU basketball, and he's still out for that. And but they got some kids. Obviously, they got a lot of seniors that are starting on both sides of the ball. And I know they haven't won the games they've wanted to win this season, but again, they're one of the best coached teams in the conference. Coach Humphrey, I learned from him. He was part of Coach Montinger's staff when I first joined back here at Salem, and I know that he'll have his guys ready to play. And they'll come up here and give us. We got to be ready to play, and then hopefully we'll have another good night on Friday.
Yeah, we took our youth team. Me and Jeff took our youth team down there to play Sunday, and probably the wettest game I've ever played in. And in about 30 seconds, everybody there was soaked. But they've got a long tradition down there of football, so hopefully they get their stuff back together. But not before we go down. They come up here and we take care of business with them. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure all of our youth kids, they all came home with a W on Sunday.
Did they?
Yeah, we had, you and Jeff went down to Corden, and
we put up 20 points before the half,
right?
And they never scored, and then we didn't get to play but a couple minutes of the third quarter, and
right.
Just started downpouring on us.
And we had both the W's here at Salem. The Springs Valley, they brought a team up so Jamie Bull's team could play them, and that was a pretty tough team. And
yeah, what Jamie was saying at the barbershop yesterday.
It was a tough team.
So Blair, what we all got the good news that Coach Humphrey finally got his heart, and then he's on the mend on that. But we've got a bunch of fundraisers going on Friday night. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's really neat because we had this fundraiser planned, obviously, since we found out that Adam was going to need a heart, and we decided to do it with Aaron being the coach at Corden. Him and I talked about it, and we got a helmet. Actually, he just delivered a helmet, Corden helmet that we're going to put a Salem line on one side, it has the Corden Panther on the other side.
That's cool.
We'll all sign it, and then all of our kids are going to sign it. We're going to have give it to Adam and let him know we're all thinking about him here. Both sides are thinking about him. But we're going to have a car show. We closed down the street behind the stadium on Harrison Street there. So between the stadium and the high school will be closed. We're going to have a cruise-in car show Friday night with a bunch of pretty cool automobiles that you can come and check out. We're going to have pulled pork from Trevor Smedley, and the Dinner Bell crew has pulled pork coming in. Actually, so start making that tomorrow night, I believe.
Yeah, most likely he usually does.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Lately, and then we're going to have ice cream there. We have like 20 items we're going to raffle off and have a silent auction with. I know one of the big items, we got a $800 smoker that was donated from Justin Hall and Salem Rental. So we're going to have that to raffle off. We have a bunch of gift baskets with all kinds of prizes. We got a $250 Morton Steakhouse gift certificate that we're going to have there to give away at the raffle, and just a lot of things happening tomorrow night at our first. Finally, we get to play at home, which is crazy, right? Our first home game.
Right. I'm a little upset because it's our home opener, and I'm actually going out of town. So Ryan's going to have Corbin come up there and call the game with him. So that ought to be a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's one thing I like about this
And
community.
we're gonna have our middle school kids announced at halftime, Nate, and so we're just excited about getting to play in front of. No, we didn't get to play in front of a home crowd last year where we got to open it up, the whole thing up because of COVID, and now it's been almost 2 months before we played at home, and we're just really excited about finally getting to play in front of our fans. And even though we've traveled great the last couple games, you know, it's nothing like playing at Paul White Graves.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You know, and you know, all the stuff that's going on, and getting all the games in, and all the confusion about COVID, and all the silliness, you know, that's going on with that, and you know, getting that first home game in is really gonna be a lot of fun. So I hate that I'm gonna miss it, but I will definitely be watching it or listening to Ryan and them on one of the streaming platforms.
That's one thing good about this community, though, too, Coach, is, you know, we've as a Salem football community, we've all come together and we've turned this, you know, home game that was, you know, we had just a couple things, you know, that was scheduled to do this, and it's blown up to, I mean, we've got quite a few items. People are donating their time and really putting a lot of effort into this. So, you know, Friday night, if, you know, please come out and support this cause.
Right, and you also support those guys that are taking care of us and putting on the food and all that. So, you know, I know Trevor Smedley's listening. You guys need any catering needs with barbecue, call Triple T Barbecue. You know, support those guys because they're taking care of you know, a pillar of this community.
Yeah, he's taking care of us coaches too. I got him put an extra one on for all the coaches, so we're gonna support that a little bit. So.
There you go.
And I think, you know, that's what's awesome, man. I just, you know, and one of the things that my staff and I continue to talk about, right, is just bringing Salem football back to where everybody in the community feels like it's part of it, you know, and that's. And then, you know, not only the kids have it, you know, enjoying playing the game, but obviously winning makes things a lot more fun, right?
Right, absolutely.
But just enjoying Friday night, enjoying the fellowship, enjoying being out amongst your friends and the people in our community. And you know, it's you know, people always say there's nothing to do in St. Louis. Well, you know what? Friday night, there's something to do.
That's right. We got some tailgating to do.
And support people and have a good time.
Right. All right, Coach. Well, that looks like all the time I've got this evening for you. But I appreciate you calling, and go get them this weekend. I'm going to be supporting you guys from afar, but, you know, Salem Lion at heart, even though I wasn't born here, I will support you guys to the end.
I appreciate it, Nate, and watch out for that guy in the studio.
Yeah, you talking about Greg because the other guy's a squatch.
Hey, one last question, Coach. What was your favorite play of the game last Friday night?
My favorite what?
Play.
Had to be Johnny Talley leaping up and batting the ball the wrong way.
Throwing it to Probably. There's two. I mean, Trevin's run.
Oh, that crazy zigzag
catch was awesome, but I think Grant's kickoff return they got called back.
Yeah, man, that was so upsetting.
I called 3 or 4 different times, and you know, it was a pretty awesome play, and I would say even though it got called back, I think that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a good choice. That was a heck of a run. All right, Coach. Well, I will see you next Wednesday then, right here on the radio. You guys have a good night, okay?
All right, Nate. Appreciate that.
Bye. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
This is Becky White from Wslm. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, and this is Jalen Hoare over at John Jones Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Salem, Indiana. Fall is beginning, and I know that everybody is hearing of all the shortages of cars, but that is not true whenever it comes to John Jones Chevrolet. We've got over 550 used cars, 210 being just at our Salem location. With those vehicles, even though they are pre-owned, we do offer financing options. A lot of those are including $0 down. Now, with those used cars, we are accepting trade-ins. Trade-in values are better than ever and probably better than we will ever see again. So with that being said, give us a call over at John Jones at 877-473-5546 or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com.
At John Jones GM City, you see so many because they paid so little.
All right, we are back. I'm live with Coach Jeremy Lowry, head coach of West Washington. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, Nate. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. You know, like I said, I've been getting ready to go on a trip, so I've been packing and running around all crazy, but I think I finally got all that under control. Paoli wasn't quite what we was hoping for, but you know, you guys went out there and played your game. How do you think you did?
Went over to Paoli last Friday night. Great atmosphere. The crowd. They only had a big crowd. We traveled very well. When you start talking about West Washington and Paoli, you're talking about two programs that have had a ton of success over the last 10 years or so within the conference and within the sectional and regionals. Obviously a lot of people came out and it was a great atmosphere. And, really for the most part, with there's 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in the third, we pull within 7. Kids really excited, really closed the gap there, was able to overcome some early adversity. Starting quarterback went down earlier in the game. Our leading rusher went down earlier in the game. So to pull that game back within 7, we had the momentum, and then we gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown, and that's when things kind of started going south on us there. Really feel like we get that game into the fourth quarter, and you don't give up the kick return. You probably get that game into the fourth quarter down by 7. I really like our chances, but just didn't turn out that way. Proud of how our kids battled early in the game. I'm proud of how they overcome some adversity early in the game, but we've got to keep sharpening things up, and we got to sustain.
Right, and that's the name of the game. It's just keep building on what you've got. And like you always say, you got to control the controllables, and everything else you just kind of have to figure out one way or another.
They only scored first, but we seem to keep having answers until just right before that fourth quarter, we just kind of ran out of answers and just weren't able to sustain what we were able to do earlier in the football game. So, we got to work on that. We got to get better. We got to address issues and keep inching ourselves, able to close out these close games and get better for the tournament.
Right. So next week you guys go to Rock Creek, correct?
They come to us. We got a homecoming Friday night, and Rock Creek will come to our place. And should be a great crowd and a lot of festivities. And looking forward to a fun, cool night. I think we're going to have like high of 72.
Yeah, it's going to be some nice football weather. Yes, sir.
Rain passes through. It looks like it's going to.
Yeah. So Rock Creek, they're 2-13 in the past 2 seasons. They didn't start their program until 2015. They're 5-39 overall. They lost to you guys in 2018, 55-8. The only time you guys have played them before, correct?
Yes, sir. That's something you got to talk to your football team about, and something our guys have to be aware of is you can't look at the past. Friday night is Friday night. You can't go off of past success. You can't go off of past records. You can't go off of any of that. Rock Creek's got some very talented athletes at a couple spots. There's some guys on our football team that will have the best matchup they've had all year long.
Yeah.
Rock Creek has just kind of struggled putting it all together collectively.
Right. And, they're a fairly new program, so they're going to have some of that.
Yeah, and playing a lot better this year. Have had some close contests, and you like I said, you got to take each Friday for what it is, and you can't go off any past successes or past failures.
Right. We've got a guy down there coaching that used to coach up here for us, Jordan Zweidorf. Getting him back into some county games, that'll be interesting to see, especially you guys. He's coming to you guys. I can't wait to see the success of West Washington's program start, to pick up, and you guys get back in the W column. And I think you're the man that's gonna be able to do that for him, Jeremy. And I really respect you as a coach and the way that you've handled yourself over the last few years. Having the different teams and what you've done there. I think that you're really going to have some success out there at the West Washington.
We just got to, keep telling our kids don't blink. There is a process here. We just have to keep working. It's at one point Friday night, we had 4 freshmen in the football game, and those kids are going to be better football players from playing.
Right.
We had our backup quarterback in the game. He came in, did a great job, pulled us back within 7 points. It was a period of time where our leading rusher was out of the game. Those things aren't fun. Those things are hard to go through, but those things are learning lessons.
Absolutely.
They make you better. They make you better in the long run, and that's why we keep preaching. Don't blink. We're going to get ready to play Friday night. We're a little banged up, but that's okay. We're going to get the guys available, ready to play. We're going to go out and play our best football game.
And that's all you can do. You like you said, the past is the past, and what you've actually got to focus on is Friday night. What's coming and what you've got to do to get the job done.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you heard or not, but we got a special guest in the studio with us tonight, Chris Hunt. Chris, you got any questions for Coach?
Yeah, with the injuries that you had last week, are those kids ready to come back this week? Are they back at 100%, or where are they at when it comes to their injury?
We're kind of day by day. They're both progressing. Whether they're ready to play Friday, we probably won't know until after warm up on Friday. If they're not back this week, I expect them both to be back the following week.
That's good news.
So, at least it's not something where we're talking about multiple games, but at this point, we're still day to day.
Gotcha.
Well, and whenever you've got those injuries, it's hard to kind of scramble. You try to prepare for that with having, the depth on the field, on your roster. But sometimes it's hard to transition from one kid to the next to fill that spot. So, for that boy to come in, your backup quarterback to come in and, lead you guys back to within 7, that's really saying something about your depth out there.
Yeah, it's just something you've always got to prepare for. I've coached 5A football, I've coached 3A football, I've coached 2A football, and I've coached 1A football. And really, it doesn't matter. When you start talking about quarterbacks and running backs, it really doesn't matter what side school you are. Those type of injuries are going to make an impact on your football team.
Right, and they can be devastating at times.
Yeah, you got to prepare for that in the front end. You got to start preparing that in the off season. You got to start preparing that on June 1 in your summer workouts of getting kids ready to play, getting kids reps during the summertime. And we feel like we've done a good job of that. And, obviously we're going to have to put that to work. We're in a situation situation right now. Those kids are going to play, and we expect them to play well. We don't expect a big drop-off because we expect them to be prepared.
Yeah, and that preparation, like we say, that's the key. Once whenever they can get in there and cover it, that's showing that they're doing their job and they're ready for the next level. Having that kid that can step up next year, whenever theoretically, if you've got a guy leaving, you've got to have that kid prepared to fill that spot. Sometimes it sucks playing second fiddle, but whenever it's your time to shine, you got to be ready to shine.
Well, it's just like our backup quarterback, Titan. Titan has done a great job all summer long. Got a ton of reps in the summertime. He's done a great job preparing. And, then in season comes, and some of those reps go down a little bit. You start preparing for your first game. You start getting into game plans. And that backup quarterback, he's still getting reps, but he's not getting near as reps as many as he did in the summertime. But you talk about a kid that stays dialed in and always knows what's going on. He stepped in Friday night. The game plan did not change one bit. And, he got in there. He didn't just hand the football off. We were throwing the ball down the field. And, he just handled it the way you're supposed to handle it. And hats off to Tice.
Right. He's got a cool name on top of it all. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you calling in tonight. And, good luck this week with Rock Creek. I hope you guys turn this season around and get that W this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Coach Luke Dean.
The forecast is nice. You're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us at firstharrison.com. Keep it easy, keep it local. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Robert, are you going to a game on Friday?
Yep, I've already got my ticket, Carrie, which we both know as Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioners is much more than a ticket.
It's so much more. When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there, you're encouraging the student athletes in your community to achieve their goals.
They need that encouragement. They need high school sports in their lives.
They really do, because they teach important life lessons like how to be part of a team.
And it's the team that provides a sense of community.
Which is why it's so important for the whole community to come together to support their high school student athletes.
So join us and buy a ticket to the game.
You'll be supporting your entire community.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Things change. Insurance.
All right, we are back. I am live. I got to apologize. I thought we were going to have Luke Dean tonight, but we've got Coach Fleetwood from Eastern down there. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, let me ask you, and I forgive my ignorance, but what's your role down there?
I coach the offensive line and linebackers, and then I'm also a JV coach.
Okay, gotcha. So you guys are finally going to get one in this week, you think?
Yeah, it looks like it. We're set up for Friday night to play North Harrison on our homecoming, so we're pretty excited about that. And it's been 4 long weeks since we got the T1 off against somebody else, so the guys are ready to go and ready to hit somebody in a different color shirt.
Yeah, I actually talked to Matthew Johnson over the weekend. He goes to church with me. Real good kid, and he was telling me he's just excited as can be to get out there and actually put hands on somebody.
Oh yeah, the guys that we've had, kind of a little. Of course, we had a layoff there with the COVID stuff, so we just kind of got back to it this week. And as always, anytime you're off that many days in a row, you kind of are concerned about how you're going to look when you get going again.
Yeah, and being like you said, being that far without being able to do anything, you get a little bit of the rust, and kids get a little, like me and Luke talked about. I think it was Luke and I that talked about it last week. they get that, well, I don't have to practice. I'm just going to sit here and play my video games. And so they're going to have to shake some of that stuff off. So how have you guys kept in contact with the kids and kept them, in the mindset of let's play some football?
Oh, well, actually, Coach Dean did a good job relaying information, sending some workout programs for them to kind of, get them up and moving around. And, they're young, so they don't realize how out of shape you can get in 10 days.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Especially when it comes to football playing shape, your body gets a little soft on you.
Yeah, and you get used to being in that heat every day, after school and getting that practice in. Then you can, like I said, you can kind of lay off and hang out in the air conditioner. You do get a little soft there.
You sure do. And, but a little bit to our surprise, we came out Monday and had a pretty good practice, and our execution was where we needed it to be, and we've had a couple of good practices, Tuesday and Wednesday, so we feel pretty good heading into things, and we know what to expect from North Harrison. They don't really try to deceive you too much. They're going to come and run right at you, and you better be ready to stop it. So
right.
Yeah, they definitely have a smash mouth football attitude over there.
Yeah, and it's funny being a Salem guy and playing for Coach Ralston. I was joking with Luke the other day at practice. I said, this looks like Salem football circa 1994, 95.
Yeah, I think they went back and watched the film from back then, that days, and said, hey, let's coach like this.
Yeah, the formations may look a little different, but the plays sure are familiar to me. They're running right downhill, and you better be ready to step in there. And, it's one of those games where you got to stick your nose in there every play and bring your best stuff, or they're going to run over you.
Yeah, and I really expected good things out of North Harrison this season, but they're only 1-4 right now, and that concerns me that that football team went so drastically the other direction. But that bodes well for you guys, because you guys are itching to get one of those wins in, and I would love to see you guys go down there and or see them come up here and you guys just put one on them.
Well, that's certainly what we're intending to do. We feel pretty, Coach Dean knows a little more about the recent history. For the last few years, I've coached middle school down in Eastern, so
okay,
I've been kind of around the varsity, but not paying quite as much attention to it as I am this year. Obviously, being on the varsity staff, but it's. I think Coach Dean was saying their numbers were down a little bit from where they had been, and things like that. But with all this COVID stuff and things like that, it's hard to guess where a program's really at in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Now I will tell you, they do have a huge line down there. I mean, that line was as big as we've seen.
I don't know where they find those kids, but they seem to roll out a pretty good sized line every year.
They got one boy that's on the line down there. He's a great big kid. He wrestled too, and he was a monster down there, in wrestling. And just I think he's like 6'4". I mean, he's a great big kid. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know where they find those kids down there, but
Marengo Cave.
Marengo Cave. That's Crawford County.
Yeah,
wrong area, Squatch.
Close enough.
So, guys got a pretty good, solid game plan, and how confident do you feel going into this?
We feel, like I said, we feel pretty good. I mean, we know what to expect, and that's always nice, from a game plan perspective, to feel like you kind of know what a team's going to hang their hat on.
Yeah, I like your odds, from what I'm seeing here lately. So I really like your odds against this team.
We just need, game plan's good. We got the guys. You just got to bring the effort. That's always the big question mark of any high school program or game or any contest. Doesn't matter what sport you're talking about. Got young guys out there that you're counting on to have their head right, be ready to come play football. And as long as we do that, we like our chances pretty well.
Yeah, coaching them right, keeping them safe, and making sure they're motivated. That's a big part of it. So as long as you're doing that and got your focus and got your guys, paying attention to what their jobs are, like I said, I like your odds.
Yep, we feel pretty good. I mean, like, there again, it's been a month, so if they're not hungry to go hit somebody and play some football that actually counts for, on the scoreboard, then something's wrong with it.
Right, that's for sure. With all that's going on, and every game that they can get in is, they need to savor every bit, especially for those seniors. They're kind of getting robbed of their season again this year, and hopefully they get as many games under their belt as possible from here on out.
That's the goal. Just like the last game we played with North Davies, that was a spur of the moment, and certainly less than ideal to find out on a Thursday that you try to switch teams and go play a pretty good football team that's 2 hours away.
But you were still playing.
But it was a game. Exactly. We wanted to get out there. You work hard at practice all week so you can play on Friday night. So,
right.
Like you said, we want to give them every opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And this should be a fun one. Homecoming's always a good time, and our youth league guys teams will get announced Friday night as well. So we expect a big crowd.
And I tell you what, your upper division down there, your 5th and 6th graders, they're a pretty good team. This is probably the best team I've seen come out of Pekin, and in the 10 years that I've been coaching youth league. Luke has done, and I don't remember the other coach's name, but you guys have done a really good job with that down there.
Well, and I think that's something that has been an effort from. Well, I help with the 5th and 6th grade team, so thank you. That's nice to hear.
Well, then I played you for week 1 down there.
Yeah, and that was a fun ball game.
Absolutely.
A little flat-footed, but
first game, you get those jitters.
Yeah, and it's hard to get them to understand how focused you got to be.
Right.
And I don't think that's a youth league thing as much as just all the way up. Football's a game where you can't take your eye off the ball.
That's right. You got to have their attention.
I said earlier, you got to know your job and you got to do it. You can't let all the other stuff distract you from what your job is. And but yeah, so we actually have Coach Brad Moore who helps with the varsity, myself, and then Coach Dean. We were all involved with the youth league real heavily. And that, have Coach Dean and I started with it a few years ago. And growing up in Salem there again, it seemed like the coaches were more involved with the youth league stuff back, way back when, and it provided some continuity.
Yeah.
As you were teaching these kids what you want them to know for varsity, you kind of you get in there at the ground floor and get teach them stuff when they're young that will pay off for you later. So
yeah, and back then, we mixed the team, so you had Pekin kids and Salem kids playing together, and it was a little different. But now that we've gone to each program having their own youth team, it really helps with that ground up kind of coaching. You get to start with those little guys with the very basic fundamentals, and by the time they get to you guys up at the varsity level, it's you don't have to preach as much. They know what the assignment is. You just got to clean it up for that varsity level.
And that's certainly the goal. Of course, the goal with youth is obviously get the kids out and get them to love football.
That's right.
First and foremost.
Get them coming back.
Hey, keep them coming back, and then over the years you kind of get them sharpened into what you want them to be, or closer to what you need them to be for your varsity program. So we've had it's been it's a lot of coaching going from varsity on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We Coach Dean and I and Coach Moore, we stop varsity practice and then we switch gears and go straight to youth league practice.
Right.
It's I'll say it's immersive coaching style for sure.
Well, Coach, from one coach to another, I want to thank you for all the time that you volunteer to put in with those youth kids, and coaching those kids is, I know it just as well as I do. It's something special. You got to have a certain mentality, and you got to have a certain kind of heart to really get down there and make a difference. And whenever you get to see your first kids play on that big field under the lights on the varsity level, it's really something special. So I can't wait till you get to experience that.
I look forward to that. I got a little bit of that going on this year. Like I said, I've spent 3 years coaching middle school, so everybody varsity except for the seniors I've had the last 3 years.
Right. Last year, the seniors here at Salem last year were the first kids I ever coached in youth league. And my son's class, which is this year, he's a senior this year, they're the kids that I coached all 4 years of their youth, their youth career, and seeing them kids out there starting varsity and, they're the seniors. This is the end of the road for them. It's kind of bittersweet, but I'm glad I got to go along on the ride.
Oh yeah, that has to be super satisfying.
Absolutely.
And know that you thought, even now it's fun on those Sunday games with the young kids. The first time you see them, kind of something clicks for a kid, and he makes a tackle, or he breaks a big run or whatever, and you just get to see them light up. That first time, like football gave them something back.
Right. We've got a senior starting tackle this year that is just, he's just amazing. He's a great player. But the first 2 years of his football career, I had to beg that boy to come play, and to see how much he turned around, And it was in fifth grade. One day it just clicked for him, and he was ready to go, and he's been a monster ever since. And that's Keenan Richardson. He's a great kid, and seeing that switch flipping him, and to see what he's done in varsity has been really satisfying. So, Coach, we kind of went a little long here, but I appreciate you calling in. Did you have anything you wanted to add to it, or Chris, did you have any questions?
No, he's pretty much answered everything I had a question about.
All right. Did you have anything you needed to say here before we take off, Coach Fleetwood?
No, we appreciate the support you guys give us, and hearing Coach Thompson, I'm glad to hear all the good stuff that you guys have going for Coach Humphrey.
Yes, sir.
I'm in middle school the last few years, and I played ball with him when I was in high school. He's a heck of a guy, and so glad to hear that he got his that things are going the right way a little bit more for him.
Right.
And I would encourage everybody who's not coming to the Eastern game to get out there and hit the Salem game and support a good cause for a good guy.
Well, we surely appreciate that, Coach, and it's been good talking to you. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you again sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
Care. Thanks a lot,
you have
guys.
a good night. All right. All right, folks, we're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're probably going to talk a little youth league football.
Hey, Robert, are you going to a game on Friday?
Yep, I've already got my ticket, Carrie, which we both know as Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioners is much more than a ticket.
It's so much more. When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there, you're encouraging the student athletes in your community to achieve their goals.
They need that encouragement. They need high school sports in their lives.
They really do, because they teach important life lessons like how to be part of a team.
And it's the team that provides a sense of community.
Which is why it's so important for the whole community to come together to support their high school student athletes.
So join us and buy a ticket to the game.
You'll be supporting your entire community.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Things change. Insurance should too. Jason can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Green, Mayor of the City of Salem. Go Salem Lions. If you're planning that bonfire during or after the football game this fall, please use caution. I want to remind you to be safe around your bonfires and avoid starting any fires during extremely dry conditions. Also, I want to remind you that only fires you can have in the City of Salem limits should be no bigger than a 3-foot square area and 3 foot high. Burning brush and leaves in the city limits is prohibited. Just like the Salem Lions, we're proud of the hard work our firefighters do at the City of Salem Fire Department. If you have any questions, please give our fire department a call at 812-883-4970. Thanks.
If you're searching for a career, GKN can provide an opportunity for you. GKN Powder Metal in Salem, Indiana is your full metal shapes solutions provider. GKN is currently recruiting for CNC operators for 12-shift schedules, which is 3 days one week and 4 days the following week. You may apply in person Monday through Friday from 9 to 3. Starting wage is $18.45 up to $24.75 based on experience, plus 60 cents per shift premium for night shift and a full range of competitive benefits. Competitive wages and medical, dental, and vision insurance. Life insurance optional. Free short, long-term disability. Free life accident insurance, plus 401k savings plans with company match. Shaping powder metal into high performance and high precision components. GKN provides leading powder metal expertise and process experience to transform ideas into production. GKN is an equal opportunity employer.
Keep playing.
We are back. Chris, I got you here, so we're going to talk youth league football.
Sure.
That's our passion these days. It's your life these days is what that is.
Yeah, it's pretty much has turned into. That's pretty much what it's turned into. I mean, we had games on Sunday. We had to pull. Springs Valley came here to play because we didn't have anybody to fill a spot because we didn't have anybody for Jamie's team to play. So we filled that spot, and I got in contact with the Corden coach. That's over their youth program, and they said, hey, we really like to make up these games that we've lost because of COVID, and so we actually had those scheduled for tonight. But with the monsoon that came in,
we don't want to go down there and tear up the game field, before Friday night's game.
Well, and like this morning, I'm sitting there going, well, should I call? Should I text Blair? Should I ask, Hank or anything? And I said, I know I'm not going to say a word because I was hoping they wouldn't really say anything until we actually got on the field. Like, you guys are supposed to be playing here.
Take us off now.
No.
We're already here.
We're playing. But
from years of playing on that field, you and I both know that there's a great big mud hole right in the middle of it, and our youth kids would have poured it.
And they would have loved every second of it.
They sliding on their bellies and all that other good stuff.
I remember the last year that Grayson played. He played. He was Jeff was his coach.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. The game was over, and the whole team took off and just did a huge belly dive right in the middle of the field. Yep. And my wife looked at me. She goes, "He's riding home with you."
I remember that game well. So speaking of Grayson, what number jersey is he wearing?
He wears the number 75.
Number 75.
Yes.
I heard someone requested to wear his jersey this weekend.
Yes, she did, and she will be sporting the number 75 all Friday, and I guess Friday night too. So yeah. So I think Ryan would probably know exactly who that little girl is.
Yeah. So Ryan, the cat's out of the bag. That was the Squatch that was texting me earlier. So she's in good hands. We're going to take care. Make sure that everything's taken care of. And last week we blamed everything on Grayson anyway. So we gotta make up for it.
Last week, watching that game, the only snap that was actually messed up that entire game was the one that, he actually snapped the ball and Johnny got the ball and he's running and he throws it to Tuck. And I'm thinking, this is not going to turn out well. And Grayson came back to the sidelines and Brett Walters looked at him and said, Grayson, that wasn't supposed to happen. And he goes, I know, it happens every once in a while, And he's right, and that's one thing about these football players. They're not machines, and they are kids, and they are going to mess up. And when they do mess up, I've really learned a lot this week. That when they do mess up, give them a hug and tell them, hey, you know what, you messed up, but guess what? We still love and care about you.
Right. And that's one thing I've always said about Coach Thompson. He knows when to coach them, he knows when to love them. And you and I even with the youth league. Most of our youth league coaches, that's you got to know your limitations and how far you can push a kid with the discipline side of it, and then you gotta know when not to overlay that love area, because then you get kids that they feel they get offended easily, they get hurt easily, their feelings get hurt, so you can't overstress the soft side of it, because then they get used to that,
right.
And then they can't take the chewing that they deserve sometimes.
Right.
So it's a fine line to tread, and I think we do it really well in this youth league.
I think with the coaches that we got right now, I say we're blessed that we have the coaches that we have, because you guys have done an amazing job this year. I've done this, just as long as you have. Actually, I think you got a couple more years on my.
I got a couple years on you.
But as long as I've done this, I've just put so much effort and care into this, and and I see that with you guys, and that's what I really like about this program is you. And I was telling the other coaches this the other day. I said, I have not seen any fear in these kids. Like, you'll have some kids that they're pretty timid, and I haven't seen that this year at this point. Now, at the beginning of the year, oh yeah, I think there was a lot of timidness. There was a lot of,
And there always is.
yeah, but it's like
even those seasoned kids that are just your studs.
Yes.
Whenever they come back into it fresh, it takes a little bit,
Yeah.
a little while to get used to that contact to get back.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Aiden Jackie. He was one of our kids. And,
And one of the kids that the only kid I've ever told me while we were winning a game, he wanted to quit football.
Oh yeah, he wanted to quit, and every day at practice,
day
he would quit.
But he stuck with it, and he went. He can't. How many seasons did he play with? At least two.
Three. It was three. Total of three. And I remember he would tell me at the end of every practice. And sometimes he was upset. Sometimes he was crying. He goes, I just don't understand it, and I quit. And I said, okay, hey, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Right.
And he would come back, and he told his mom one time. He said, Coach Hunt really did a lot to help my self confidence, and that really meant a lot to me as a coach. And that's the reason I continue to do this youth program is because I see what impact we do with these kids.
Right, and you've got to know how to reach certain kids. You're not going to be able to approach every kid the same way. And Aiden Jackie was a shining example of that. We had to find what worked with him, and when we did, he did things. Even in wrestling, he was a timid kid and finally came on. So, he's one of those kids that I think will do good things in life. And I'm just, for one, I'm glad to have been a part of that. Building up his confidence, and you building up his confidence, and finding a way to get him to open up.
Right.
And, he was a very analytical kid.
Yes.
You couldn't just say, "Hey, go hit that kid." Well, you got to explain why and how to hit that kid, and he would nail it every time.
Yeah, and then if you told him, okay, well, if this happens, then you got to do this, and then that was that was a whole nother
another explanation.
Yes, it was like okay, but like we have 4 games coming up on Sunday. It's going to be the last games of the year, and it's kind of bittersweet. Trust me, with me and with the whole staff, with me and my wife, of course, and Angie and Josh and Stephanie, and we're literally worn out.
Oh, absolutely.
From dealing with all the linebacker stuff, also dealing with all the football stuff. We're literally just worn out. But you know what?
You'll be back. We
will be back, and it's not because we're getting paid. It's because we do it because we love the kids.
Right. And that's the one thing about it is these youth coaches, they're all volunteers. And you've got a guy like Jeff Medlock that has volunteered for 31 years. This man has spent 31 years coaching other people's kids. Most of the time he didn't have a kid on the team. And he's going out there, year after year and, putting up, the putting in the work to make the kids. We don't have successful season every year, but we try to do the best. Nobody wants to go out there and get beat every game. That doesn't help, retain kids. Kids don't want to keep coming back for that. But like you said, we haven't had a great season this year, Jeff and I. But we've had a lot of fun with the kids that we've got. We wouldn't trade the kids that we've got for anything. Some of the kids we've coached for 3 years. Next year will be the 4th, and the amount of love that you get back from those kids really makes everything just worthwhile.
It does, and that's when I'm running around all over the place. So when I'm at a football game, youth league, I'm in the concession stands. I'm up in the booth. I'm running over to the the visitor stand to see if they need anything. Making sure if there's any injuries. I try to be down there for that, and the amount of times I actually have people say, hey, thank you, Chris, or thank you, Coach Hunt, or whatever the case is. It's like, that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm really doing it just, trying to help and to build a program so that way when those kids get into high school, that we not only go out there and we beat Brownstown, but I want to get those kids to see what it's like to actually go to, regionals, to state. And by us starting what we have now, I think you'll see in the future, I think you'll see a lot more of that from Salem football.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game. To get everybody involved and keep everybody involved, and more than anything, it's about making sure that these kids are safe. They have people they trust. They have positive role models, and people that they can look up to teach them. This is the type of person you want to be when you grow up. And get out into the real world. So it really helps whenever they can take these life lessons and learn them now. Because that's, football isn't just about the X's and O's and going out there and hitting kids and, scoring touchdowns and winning games. The way we coach football is we coach life.
Mm-hmm.
And that really shows and reflects in the kids that we've got. Like I said, in the 10 years that I've been doing it, it really reflects in the kids that we've got at the varsity level right now, because we have a great group of kids at Salem, and that's the main goal, and we'll keep doing that as much as we can and progressing, and just making sure the kids know that they have a safe place that they can come.
Well, that, and also we're kind of go beyond that, not just we're teaching family, not just life lessons, but we're teaching that no matter what, those other kids on your football team, they're your family.
Right.
I know I can actually go to other football players that I that have either played in the past or that I've known. I can go to them right now and say, hey, listen, I lost my job. I need a job. And they said, hey, they'll say, hey, for everything you do, boom, what, we're going to give you a job, or to help out in any way possible. It's like, looking at Adam, with all the effort that he's put into this program, he was a football player, we're just trying to, I mean, there's no amount of money or anything that we can do to take away what, he's gone through, but we're doing it as a football family to help his family to get through this this part of his life.
Right. And it's just like whenever I was doing the free cleat program, I didn't do that because I was looking for any recognition. I did that because there were kids that literally didn't have the funds. It was bad enough getting the money to play football, but then having to buy the the extra stuff, the cleats and this and that. So I thought if we could take gently used stuff, because these kids are constantly growing and they get to play a season in a pair of cleats. So we were taking and recycling that stuff to other kids, and that's what it's about. It's getting every kid that can possibly play, making that possible for them to play.
Yeah, because when it comes to the entry fees and things like that, we made it to where we tried to make it to where it was able to actually be done by everybody.
Right, and that's one thing I would like to say is, if you didn't sign up for football this year because you couldn't afford it, that's not an excuse anymore. You show up and we will make it happen one way or another.
Yeah, we had quite a few scholarships this year that said, hey, and I had quite a few sponsors come up and said, hey, listen, if you need, if Johnny can't play football, we'll take care of the fee. So not one child that wanted to play football did not get to this year. So, and that's a huge thing. I mean, and the sponsors took care of it. All of our sponsors, through the youth program, they stepped up and was able to come up with enough money to actually buy all that equipment to really give all the kids brand new equipment. I mean, I'm still blown away that we've done what we have in the last what is it, just 6-7 months.
Right.
I mean, we've done a lot to further this program, and that I can't say enough about our sponsors and about our parents and about our coaches to jump up and to volunteer and do the things they have.
Right. And that's one thing I want to say. We've got the right people doing the job. doing the right job right now. So that's, you guys, my hat's off to you guys for all the time you guys put in. I volunteer and coach kids, 3 days a week. So I don't feel like I put in as much work as you guys have. And I really appreciate the extra time that you guys put in so that we can go out there and teach this game.
Oh yeah, I mean, just for instance, like this, just take this morning for instance. I mean, on my way to work when I get up and leave, it's like 4:45. I'm usually getting phone calls from Jamie Boyles. I mean, it's, it's Jamie Boyles, and then then I'm talking to other coaches throughout the day trying to get games rescheduled, and
right.
And it's been really hard, with COVID, to reschedule these games. And I know in the past it was like, hey, the game's canceled, that's it. And that's why we try to have the game tonight. And we had a game last Thursday.
Well, it's like the year that I had neck surgery.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I ended up on a football field in a neck brace 2 days after having fusion surgery done on my neck because we couldn't reschedule a game.
But that was Spud's fault, though.
No, it wasn't. It was the director at the time's fault.
No, I'm saying it was Spud's fault. You had the neck injury because I remember.
Well, Spud did not help that any. He shook my big bobble head.
Yeah.
It
was hilarious.
I had to be carted off the field that next game.
Yeah.
Which it ended up being a good memory, and but standing there wasn't anything short of my head falling off that was going to keep me out of that championship game that day.
Absolutely.
So, well, guys, I guys, that's all the time we got tonight. Chris, thank you for coming by today.
Hey, no problem.
Greg, thank you for working all the wheels over there and making things happen. Guys, make sure you tune in and listen to Ryan and special guest Brandon Corbin Friday night. They're going to be calling the game here in Salem on 97.9 WSLM.
And don't forget to come out this week, on Friday night. And
come out for the car show and the food and the fundraisers. And
there's lots and lots of items that I know that you as a husband and you as a wife would love to actually have in some of these baskets that they're coming about.
All right, folks. Well, I will catch you next week on Coach's Corner right here at Radio Ridge. Thanks for your time.
Keep playing. Keep working. Keep going. And keep moving with the unmatched orthopedic care at Baptist Health. With a best-in-class team and procedures you won't find anywhere else in the region. It's no wonder most people choose Baptist to help them keep on. Keeping on. Visit BaptistHealth.com/ortho to find a Baptist Health provider.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ASCSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-4681. See Celebrity Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They serve nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-0670. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
Wouldn't it be great to find a dealer that puts their customer satisfaction over their profits? Well, you have. Betty Gilstrap Motors in Salem, Indiana has been your hometown Ford dealership for over 80 years. No hassle, no pressure, and ranked in the top 6% nationwide for customer service. Specializing in Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Betty Gilstrap Motors is your one-stop shop for your sales, service, and auto body repair needs. Visit us today at EddieGilstrapMotors.com or come see us at 207 South Main Street, downtown Salem, Indiana. Stevie Motzinger here with Eddie Gilstrap Motors, cheering on our black and gold. Go Lions!
you're messing up a good thing. How to fix it before it's too late. And yeah, I know, boy, who gave up and got it wrong. If you really love a woman, don't let her go. Yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know. How to know when it's love, how to stay when it's tough, how to chase forever down a driveway, how to never let it get there in the first place. And yeah, I know a boy who gave up and got it wrong. If you really love a woman, don't let her go. I know a few things a man ought to know. Yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know.
Hey, it's Tony Cruz checking into your Wednesday night cruise, and that is newcomer Lainey Wilson, who has her very first #1, but she says the hard work is really just beginning. We'll tell you more about that coming up in just minutes. In the meantime, it's Conway.
There's a lot of ways of saying what I want to say to you. There's songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. But I won't talk of starry skies or moonlight on the ground. I'll come right out and tell you I just love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things a woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, how I'd love to lay you down. There's so many ways your sweet love made this house into a home. You've got a way of doing little things that turn me on. Like standing in the kitchen in your faded cotton gown, with your hair all up in curlers, I still love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things a woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, how I love to lay you down. When a whole lot of Decembers are showing in your face, your auburn hair has faded and silver takes its place. You'll be just as lovely, and I'll still be around. And if I can, I know that I'd still love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things a woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, how I'd love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things my woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, how I love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things my woman loves to hear.
My Country, 1220 AM.
It's a Friday night. We
pulled up. It's going down around these pickup trucks. Yeah, it's cold cans and Dixie cups. Just out here doing what we've always done. Long live all the small towners, sun up the sundowners, that old school haggard and pain. Long live long neck bottles and wide open throttles and old dirt roads with no name. Long live in country girls, long live in cut up jeans. Long live this way of life, long live nights like these. Long live, long live, long live, long live nights like these. Long live the Walmart parking lot, turn it to the midnight party spot. Long live hard work when it pays off, and living it up on the days off. Long live all the small towners, sun up the sundowners, that old school haggard and pain. Long live long neck bottles and wide open throttles and old dirt roads with no name. Long live in country girls, long live in cut up jeans. Long live this way of life, long live nights like this. Long live, long live, long live, long live nights like this. Long live in glory days, long live that 40 days. All them pass it round, pass it down, story days. Long live all the small towners, sun up the sundowners, that old school haggard and pain. Long live long neck bottles, wide open throttles, and old dirt roads with no name. Long live in country girls, long live in cut up jeans. Long live this way of life, long live nights like this. Long live, long live, long live, long live nights like this. You were raised on an asphalt farm, ain't never heard of crow. Never walked barefoot by a river, felt the mud up your toes. You never rolled in the hay, you never thrown it in four-wheel. Climb up on in here, girl, let me show you how country feels. Put your hair down, get you some of this laid on back. Keep your shoes off, pick them off, get you some of this slow down fast. I'll take you up and down these hollers and hills, let me show you how country feels. Ever watch the sun go down from the bed of a pickup truck? Ever been so into somebody, still right there when it comes back up? Girl, what do you say? You cut a path through that cornfield, park down by the water. Let me show you how country feels. Get your hair down, get you some of this laid on back. Get your shoes off, pick them off, get you some of this slow down fast. I'll take you up and down these hollers and hills. Let me show you how country feels. Let your hair down, get you some of this laid on back, kick your shoes off. Put your hair down, get you some of this laid on back, kick your shoes off, kick them off, get you some of this slow down fast. I'll take you up and down these hollers and hills, let me show you how country feels. Country feels.
Lainey Wilson at the top of the hour, who's just landed her very first number one hit single, and it's her debut single, Things the Man Ought to Know. She says as far as getting to that number one spot, it's not the end of the journey, it is just the beginning. She's very grateful for all the incredible moments leading up to this moment of getting this first number one. But she also says this is just the beginning. You know, she's been preparing for this race. She's entered the race, and now she's about to run it. The hard work is really just getting started. I think we're going to hear a lot more from Lainey Wilson. Well, stick around. I've got some Thomas Rhett coming your way in just minutes.
Hi, football fans. Dak Prescott here. And I want to tell you that with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, it's like having front row seats to every live out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon, no matter where you live. And this season, that means 18 weeks of glory and more games than ever before. So switch to DirecTV and learn how to get the 2021 NFL Sunday Ticket season included at no extra cost. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
The choice package and above. 24-month agreement required. Select international games excluded. Blackout restrictions and other conditions apply. Call for details.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you, and her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you